Hello everyone. In the last class, we have discussed about some inheritance concept and how can we import the local class to global class. And we have learned about final class also, right? And in today's class, we will discuss about constructor. Okay. So fine. Let us share my screen. So first of all, I will create a global class. This is 24, and this is for constructor. So click on create button. This is the class and find constructor class, and I'm deselecting this one. So if you deselect this, this checkbox, the final checkbox, then this is the, we can apply something inheritance concept for this class. Means we can create the child class also for this one. Okay, if we enable this one, then we cannot create the child class for this class, right? Fine, click on save button, local object. Okay, here I'm writing something m1. Okay, there's the method name, and here I want to give something in here. Instance method only. Fine. Now there is a public section. And method m1. Right. Now save it and implement this method. Double click on the method name. We can implement. I can display something here, or I can 1 minute here. I can pass something variables. I can declare something variables here, attributes. Okay, here in the attribute, customer name and the level. Click on F4 button, and this is the instance attribute only. And the visibility, I will give something to here. This is the public section, and this is the associated type, customer number. Okay, and the customer name. Okay, and this one also instance attribute only, and this is the public section, the name one. Okay, fine. This is the number, the name. Okay, save it. I am taking two variables in this one. Fine, click on back button. Oh, sorry. Okay, now I will implement something here. Customer number is equal to 123. Okay, and the customer name is equal to something SJF. I want to display these two things by using white statement. Customer number, customer name. Check it. Activate it. Okay, it's activated right now. Fine, now click on back button. Activate it once again. It's activated, right? Now I will create a program, local program, by using SE38 transaction. And here I am giving something jet testing and constructor. Click on create button, and this is the testing and executable program. Local object. Now I want to create something object for the class I have created. So the class name get test con, copy it, and here data obj type ref2 class name. Otherwise, I can take obj1. Okay. Now startup selection and create object obj1. Okay. Now, if you want to display the data, whatever we have implemented in the class, then what we have to do? We have to call the method, right? So how can we call obj1 call method obj1 and click on control plus space button. The method name is coming. Select it one more time. Click on control plus space button. Shift plus enter. There is no importing exporting parameters, so it is not showing anything. Fine. Now check it, activate it, execute it. Okay, automatically the 1, 2, 3 and AJF is coming because I have implemented it in the method level. All right, fine. This is fine. Now I'm going to one more concept. It's called constructor. So till now we have discussed about method. Okay, method, and now discussing about constructor. So this constructor also one method only. Okay, this is also one method. Same. This is the normal method, and this is the constructor method. Okay, this is a special method. So what is the specialty for this constructor? Okay, constructor method. What is the specialty here? Like, where is the class here? So this is the class here. Now what I'm doing? I want to declare one constructor method. Okay, how can we call this one? How can we declare first of all? Constructor. Okay, constructor. So the method name, this is fixed here. Okay, here we can give something name m1, m2, or get data, display data, whatever it is, we can mention the name. Okay, for the method. But the constructor method, the name is fixed here. Okay, only constructor we have to take. Okay, and by default, it is taking instance method only. Okay, instance method, and I can change it to public here. It's a constructor. Okay, constructor. Now I will remove this method m1, save it. Okay, the same thing previously how I have done. Okay, so just double click on the constructor, the method name, and here provide the um, customer number is equal to something 001, and customer name is equal to something SGF, and displaying the data. Right, check it. Okay, something visibility of the constructor cannot be okay. Here I'm getting something error like this. Okay, so what I will do, click on back, and here private visibility is there, but I don't want to keep it in the private section. Okay, so I am moving it to public section. And just remember one thing here, the constructor should be in public visibility. Okay, now let's click on save button, double click on constructor. Now check it once again. So it is not showing any error, right? Activate it. Okay, now an error found active anyway. Method m1 is not declared or inherited in class. fine, but where is the method M1 here? Method M1 is not there. So what I will do, I will click on back button. So click on this button and right, double click on the test count. I mean, this is the class name and activate it here. Click on enter button. So this is not required here. Okay, this is not required. So click on activate. Okay, fine. Now, okay, what is going on here? Let me click on back. So one more time change, activate it. I don't want this M1 here. Click on enter button. So the error found active anyway method M1 is not declared inherited in the class. Okay, what I will do, the local program, I will keep it in comment. Okay, activate it now. Because I have I have used the M1 method in the local program, and so activate it once again. Fine, it is activated now. Okay, fine. Now I want to call this method in the program level. Okay, so how can we call this one? So call method obj1 and click on control plus space button. It is showing something the old one only. Okay, it is not refreshed. Okay, it is showing the old method only, right? So now what I will do, I can click on pattern here and select the ABAP object patterns, click on enter button. Now what is the instance object name here? The obj1. Okay, and the class name jettest underscore con, and click on F button. Now we can see something. It is showing nothing here. Okay, nothing is showing here. It is showing like empty, no values for this selection. Means for this class there is no method like that it is showing, right? So now what I will do, I will write it manually. Why it is showing like that, I will let you know. So first of all, manually I am writing call method obj1. Okay, and the name, the method name is the constructor, right? There is no importing exporting parameters here, no importing exporting parameter, so I'm not taking anything here. Now save it and check it. So what it is showing here, the special method constructor cannot be called directly. So what it is showing, we cannot call the constructor method like this. Okay, we should not call like this. 1 minute guys. Okay, so the constructor should not call like this. Okay, externally we cannot call the constructor. I will keep it in comment. Okay, now save it, check it, activate it. It's activated, right? So click on execute button. See, it is calling here. One SJF is calling here. How it is calling like this? Okay, so whenever we are creating the object, okay, whenever we are creating the object at that time, by default the constructor will trigger here, constructor method will call here. That is the specialty here. Okay, if this is the normal method, we need to call this one externally. We need to call method, object name, and the method name, like that we need to write, right? But this is a special method. Constructor is a special method, so we should not call this one externally. So by default it will call whenever we have created the instance, or whenever we have created the object for the class, then automatically it will call the constructor. Fine, this is fine. You are saying automatically this will call fine. Now my requirement is I want to pass something values. So let us open the class here. This is a constructor, right? In this constructor, I'm giving something customer number and customer name, right? Now my requirement is I don't want to pass the value like this. I want to pass the value by using something import parameters. Okay, import parameters, fine. So click on back button and click on this is a constructor method, select it and click on parameters, and here I underscore customer number, right? So Kunar, right? And now here associated type is Kunar. Okay, and this is the optional I am taking here. Okay, optional. So you already know about optional. What is the meaning of optional? Okay, and this is pass by value and pass by reference. You already know about this one. So I underscore name one. Okay. This is also optional only, and this is the name one. Okay. Now save it. I am taking two input variables for the method constructor. Okay. Two input variables, two input parameters for constructor method. Now, how can I pass? So first of all, click on source code here, and here instead of this hard coding, I want to pass the input parameter I underscore Kunar. We can see this one in the signature. So if you are not able to see this input and output parameters here, then click on signature. Okay, now it is not coming. So click on once again signature. So automatically it will come here. Now I underscore Kunar. And for the customer name, I underscore name one. Okay, now check it, activate it. It's activated. Click on back, activate it once again. Okay, so now constructor is one method, one special method, and I'm giving something input parameters. I underscore Kunar and I underscore name one, two input parameters. Right? I want to call this one in the local program, but I am saying like not required to call externally, automatically it will call. Then how can I pass the input parameters? That is the question. Right? Now come to the program here. So here I'm creating something object, right? Now click on control plus button here. Click on shift plus enter. Okay, it is not coming anything here. Let me try it once again. So instead of writing like this, create object name like this. So I will click on pattern here once again. Okay, and click on ABAP object patterns and click on enter button. And now I'm creating the object here. Okay, I'm creating the object. So select the second data button. I'm not calling the method. I'm just creating the method object, or I'm creating the instance. Okay, both are same. Instance or object both are same. Now the instance or object name is obj1 and the class name. Okay, and the class name jet test underscore con. Click on OK button. Okay, okay, fine. It is not showing anything. So what I will do, I will write like this. Exporting. Okay, I underscore Kunar is equal to P underscore Kunar. Let me check it synthetically. I think exporting expected, not exporting, fine. So you can check. No. Actually, it is showing something error here. So what I will do, I will remove this one and exporting. Okay, so now let me check it here. So parameter p underscore Kunar, okay, fine. I will declare it here. Parameters p underscore Kunar, type Kunar, right? Now click on check button, activate it. It's activated. Okay, so while creating the object or while creating the instance, we need to export the value. Okay, we need to export the input parameters of constructor. Okay, now let me check it here. And one more thing, here, what is going on? So this is the constructor, right? So now what I will do, click on parameters, and here this is the optional I have taken. I am deselecting it. Okay, save it, activate it. It is activated means, so these two parameters are mandatory. Without passing the value, it will not accept, it will throw error, right? So this is the mandatory parameter for this constructor method. And I have activated this class, and let me come to the program, local program. And here I am just exporting I underscore Kunar, but I underscore name one. The customer name I am not exporting here. So let me check. So it is showing something error. No value was passed to the mandatory parameter I underscore name one. It is showing something error because this is the mandatory thing. We should pass the value, otherwise it will throw error. So in this case, we need to pass one more exporting parameter, I underscore name one is equal to p underscore name one. Okay, name one. Now I want to declare one more parameter here. So p underscore name one. Now save it, check it. Now it is not showing any error. Fine, activate it. It is activated. Okay, it's activated. Now what I will do, I want to display something. Right statement I am taking here. Here what I want to display. I want to display like this is the object one, right? So obj1 calling instance or whatever it is constructor. Okay. Now fine. Check it here. Activate it here. So this is activated. I'm keeping the breakpoint here. So click on F8 button. Okay. So parameters 001 I'm giving and SJF I'm giving. Click on execute button. Okay, so already the create object is executed. Okay, create object is executed. Now write statement came, click on execute button once again. Now you can see here one SJF is coming from the constructor method. Okay, so creating the object here, so whenever we are creating the object, at that time only the constructor will call, constructor method will call automatically. So I'm giving something exporting parameter, so I need to keep this line, okay, here. Now take it, activate it. Now what will happen? First of all, this line will execute object one calling constructor. Okay, and after that one, I'm creating the object. Okay, I'm creating the object. So automatically the constructor will call here. Okay, fine. Now, what I will do, data obj2 type ref2 ztest underscore con. I'm creating one more object here. Create obj2, create object obj2. Okay, create object obj2. Now click on check button. So it is showing something error here. Okay, no value passed to the mandatory parameter I underscore punar. I underscore punar is the input parameter in the constructor method. So we need to pass that one because that is a mandatory thing. So click on copy this one and paste it here. Okay, now let me check. Let me check now. There is no error, right? Here I'm writing something. I'm displaying something here. Obj2 calling constructor, right? Now check it once here and activate it here. It's activated. Okay, it's activated. Now I will click on execute button. So this is the 001 and here this one is the Journey Foundation. Click on execute button. Now see already the object one is create. I mean the first line object one calling constructor. This line is executed. It will display automatically. And now create object obj1. At that time constructor will call automatically. Right. Now I am taking one more object here. Okay. And before creating the object, I'm displaying something. And now I'm creating the object. Just creating the object. I am not calling any method here. So click on execute button. Now we can see object one calling constructor. So in this constructor, one CGND foundation is there and object two. Okay. In object two calling constructor and here also one CGND foundation is coming here means. So what is the meaning of this one? The constructor will call for every object. Okay. For the first time it will call. So what I will do here, I will take one method. Okay, I will take one method, click on back, and here I'm taking something method m1 and this is the instance only and this is the public section and this is the method m1. Okay, and double click on it. I want to implement the method m1 here, click on S button and here I'm writing something, write method m1. Okay, now activate it. This is activated. Okay, this is activated. Now what I will do, I will call the method. Okay, I will call the method. So from where call method. Okay, obj1 the m1. Okay, m1. Now click on check button, activate it. It's activated. Okay, it's activated. Now let me check it here. Actually it is accepting here, but so what should happen, I'm creating the object in the 16th line. Okay, I'm creating the object in the 16th line, obj1 here, but I'm calling the method in the 14th line only. So without creating, how can it call? Okay, sometimes it will throw error, but this is the latest version, so it is accepting here, but in lowest versions it will not accept. Okay, in lowest versions it will not accept like this. So fine, let me check that one also, no issue. Okay, it is not showing any error, fine, no issue. So I will keep the breakpoint here, click on execute button. Okay, and this is 001 HJF. So click on execute button. Now I'm calling the method, right? I'm calling the method. Click on F6 button. It is going to dump here. Okay, error in ABAP application program. The current ABAP program JetTest constructor had to be terminated because it found a statement that could not be executed. Okay, the error analysis, you can see here something. You are trying to access a component with zero object reference. Means, what is the meaning of this one? Here, okay, the object is creating in the 16th line. OBJ call, I mean, create object OBJ1 is in 16th line, but I'm calling the method by using the object in the 14th line only. That is why it is showing something error like this. Now it will not throw any error. Click on exit button, activate it. It's activated. Okay. So here, I'm just creating the object. That's it here. Okay. I'm just creating the object, and after that one, I'm calling the method here M1. Okay. I'm calling the method M1 here, and click on execute button. SJF, click on execute. Okay. Now click on F5 button. Now, if you click on F5 button, then automatically it is going inside the constructor method. I'm not calling the method. Okay, just creating the object. Creating the object, that's it. Okay, automatically it is going inside the constructor. Okay, now the cursor came to the 17th line. This is the call method M1, and here automatically it will call. Click on execute button. See here, the constructor is calling for the first time. Okay, constructor is calling first time and method is calling the second time. Means my intention is here. So we are calling something object, that is fine. Okay, and after that one I'm calling the methods. Okay, just assume I'm calling the 10 methods here. But for the first time, if the constructor is available in the class, automatically it will call. Okay, so if there is no constructor in the class, then as usually, okay, how the method is M1 is calling for the first time, the second line M2, third line M3. So it will call like that, one by one, it will call like that. But if there is any constructor, and it will call the first time, okay, automatically it will call that constructor method. So that is a specialty of the constructor. Okay, fine. Now this is a constructor, right? And click on parameters here. I want to give something exporting parameter also. Okay. And we can see here there is no importing and exporting options. So let me click on back button, and here M1 is there. So select the M1 and click on the parameter, and we can see here something type is there. Okay. Importing, exporting, changing, returning something, options are there. Okay, so for the same thing, I'm checking for the constructor. Click on parameters, and we can see just parameter name and associated type. But there is no importing, exporting, changing, returning parameters. So by default, it will consider like input parameter. Okay, this is one more point. By default, it will consider like input parameters, and constructor will not allow exporting and changing and returning parameters. Okay, so constructor will allow only importing parameters. It will not allow exporting, changing, returning parameters. Interview question. Okay, fine. Now I will go for one more method, that is class constructor. The special characters, fine. Click on constructor, and here this is the static one. Let me check it here. This is the public one method. So now we can see here something. So this is the constructor and this is the class constructor. Okay, this is the constructor and this is the class constructor. Guys, 1 minute. Okay, now come here. Okay, this is a constructor and this is a class constructor. Okay, we already know about this one. Okay, so if you want to declare something methods in the local class, then we can write like methods only. And if we are writing something static method, then class method, like that we can write. The same way here also, this is the instance constructor. Automatically it is taking instance method. And I have added something class here, class underscore constructor. So for this one, static method. Okay, so by default, I mean, whenever we are spelling the word like constructor, means that is the instance method only, instance constructor only. Okay, so if you want to call it as especially static constructor, okay, then we need to write here something class constructor. Okay, we need to specify this is a static constructor. Okay, static constructor. Otherwise, sometimes we will call like only constructor. At that time, we need to consider this is the instance only. Okay, don't confuse here. So whenever we are spelling like constructor, then by default we need to consider like instance. Okay, so if you want to spell especially for static, then you have to spell like static constructor. Otherwise, the guys will consider like instance only. Static constructor. Fine. Now, what is the difference? Constructor is okay, fine. Okay, constructor is okay, fine. So constructor is a special method. Automatically, it is calling. So not required to call this constructor method externally. Automatically, it will call here. Okay. Then what is the difference between instance constructor and static constructor? Fine. So what I will do, I am just writing this one, right? Static constructor from this class name test COM. Okay, so I'm just writing the, I mean, I'm just displaying something here. Static constructor from, okay, static constructor from the class. Now activate it. It's activated. Now click on back. Activate it once again. Activated. Now what I will do, I will go to the program level here. So once again, I will call this one. Okay. Here only object one is there, and I'm just creating the object here, and I'm calling the normal method. Both I'm doing here. Okay. Now what I will do, I will keep the breakpoint here. Activate it. Keep the breakpoint here and execute it here. So 001 and SJF, click on execute. Now, if I click on F5 button, then what will happen? Okay, if I click on F5 button, then what will happen? Let us see. Click on F5. So where it is going? It is going to static constructor first of all. So you can see here class constructor is there. Okay, so whenever instance and static constructors are available in the class at that time, okay, instance and static both are available at that time. So we are creating something object for the class. At that time, the cursor is going to the static constructor first of all. Okay, the cursor is calling, system is calling the static constructor first of all. So fine, click on F6. Fine. Now create object. The cursor came here. One more time, click on F5 button. Then where it will go. So now it is coming to the instance constructor. We can see the name here, method constructor. This is the instance. Okay, so this is the instance constructor. So the order we need to check here. Okay, the order. Instance constructor. So let us write the instance first of all. Instance constructor, and this is the static constructor. Static constructor. Okay, fine. Now, so how it is calling? So the first time, I mean, whenever we're creating the object, so I am telling the, I mean, 2-3 times this one, because we will get some confusion here. To avoid that one, I am repeating it here 2-3 times like that. Okay, so whenever we're creating the object at that time, so system will check, is there any instance and static constructors are available or not in the class. Okay, so if there is any instance and static both are available, okay, instance and static constructors both are available in the class at that time. So first of all, it will go to the static constructor. Okay, and after that one, after completion of this static constructor, it will go to the instance constructor. So the cursor is in instance constructor only. Now click on F6. Fine. Now if I click on F5 button, then it will come to the next line, because the instance and static both constructors have called now. Okay, already called both methods, special methods called now. So click on F8 button. So it is coming like this: object one calling constructor. So on the first time, so this is the, I mean, I'm just displaying this one by using the write statement. That is okay, fine. And here static constructor. Okay, for the first time static constructor will call, and after that one instance constructor will call here. Okay, so what I will do, I will change something here, something importing, exporting. There is, I mean, and one more thing. And here these are static constructor, right? I'm clicking on the parameters, and what it is showing here, the class constructors and destructions do not have parameters and exceptions here. Means the instance constructor can allow, okay, can allow importing parameters. But coming to the static one, static constructor will not allow any importing parameter or exporting, changing, returning, whatever it is. Okay, it will not allow anything. At least this one, the instance constructor, at least it will allow importing parameters, but static, it will not allow anything. Okay, so differences you can get to know. And now here the parameters, I will remove the parameters here, don't want. Click on S, and this one also not required. S, and now click on source code here. S, and here I don't want to display like this. So what I will do, so what I will do here, instance constructor from the class name from test underscore on. Now let me check it, activate it. It's activated. Now activate it once again. So where is it? Now activate it once again. It's activated, right? It's activated. Now I will come to the program here. Click on back. Fine, no issue. Is it 38? Because I have changed the class, right? So it is going to dump. Fine, there is no issue. And now there is no exporting parameters concept. So I will remove these all things here. Okay. So only create object is there. That's it. Activate it once again. So click on execute button. And here 001 something SJF. Click on execute button. Okay. So static. So first of all, it is going to the static constructor, then it is going to the instance constructor. So by default, after that one, any methods are there. If you are calling something method, then only it will go inside the method. Otherwise, it will not go. Fine, fine. Now what I will do, I will create one more object here. Okay, so data obj2 type ref2 something, and here I'm displaying something object to calling constructor. Okay, so at that time I'm just creating the object obj2, that's it. Now activate it. Okay, keep the cursor here, create object obj1, click on execute. Now parameters not required here, so I will keep it in comment. Activate it, execute now. Okay, now if I click on F5 button, okay, if I click on F5 button, it will go to the static constructor. Okay, static constructor is available in the class, so it will go to the static constructor. Click on F5. See, the class constructor is coming. Fine, you already know about this one. Now one more time click on F5 button. So now it's came to the instance constructor, right? Now fine. Now this line is completed. Now click on F5 button. It came to the one more method calling here. Okay, so call method obj1 m1, but I am not going inside. Okay, now cursor came to the 21 line here. The create object obj2 is there. Now if I click on F5 button, then the cursor where it will go. So that is the question now. Okay, if I click on F5 button, then the cursor where it will go, static or instance. So which constructor will call here, right? So click on F5 button. So it is going to the instance constructor. Okay, instance constructor. Now click on F5 button. Okay, now I will click on F5 button. It is going to the standard program. Okay, it is going to the standard program. We can see clearly here. Okay, so for the object one, first time cursor went to the static constructor, and after that one instance constructor. Okay, first static one, then instance one. So this is the object one. Okay, coming to the object two. Okay, coming to the object two, the cursor is going the only instance constructor. It is not going inside the static constructor. Okay, fine. Now I will create one more object here. Activate it here. Execute it. Don't want this one. Now we can see from the object one, static and instance, the order you can see here. So first static is coming, and after that one instance is coming. For the object two, only instance is coming. For object three, only instance is coming. Means, so how it is working here? So you can create n number of objects. Okay, you can create n number of objects or instances. For that many of instance constructors will call here. Okay, but static constructor will call only one time in the lifetime of the class. Okay, total class. So object 1, 2, 3, these three objects are creating for the class jet test underscore cvn only. Now only one class it is referring here. Means, so the lifetime of the class. Okay, in the lifetime of the class, the static constructor will call only once, and the two for the first time. Okay, for the first time the static constructor will call. And coming to the instance one, so in the 15th line, I'm creating the object here. At that time, system will call the static plus instance, both it will call here. Okay, and I'm calling the one more object. I'm creating one more object in the 21 line, object two. Okay, at that time, so the system will call the instance constructor one more time. Okay, instance constructor one more time. I mean, the instance constructor is specific. I mean, specific for the object. How many objects are there? That many of times the instance constructor will call here. That is specific to object here. The lifetime of the object it will call once. Okay, fine. Now we got to know some information here. So I will write down. Okay. Input parameters only allow here the instance constructor. Okay, and exporting and changing, returning, it will not allow anything, only input parameters. Okay, now automatically it will trigger. Okay, automatically it will trigger. Not required to call this one externally. Fine. Specific to object. Okay, specific to object means, so if we are creating something object means automatically it will call the instance constructor. Okay, if static constructor Okay, now static constructor is available in the class. Okay, then the first then first time static constructor will execute. Okay, static constructor will execute first. Next, system will call the instance constructor. Okay, first it will call the static one. After that one, instance one. Okay, just assume objects are there means in times instance constructor will call. Okay, 10 objects we are creating at the time 10 times the instance constructor will call, right? Now coming to the static one. Okay, here no input or okay, no input or output or changing or returning parameters allowed. Input or output, okay, input or output or changing or returning parameters not allowed. Okay, it will not allow anything here. Fine, automatically it will trigger. Okay, and specific to class this one. This is not for object. Specific to class means 10 objects we are creating. Okay, 10 objects are creating, but only one time. Static constructor will call. Okay, only one time the static constructor will call. If static constructor is available, then first time static constructor will execute. Next system will call instance constructor. Okay, so these are the basic differences between instance constructor and the static constructor. Okay, fine. This is fine. Instance constructor and static constructor. This is fine. Now, what I will do? Okay, where is it? I am creating one more class here. Test CONINH. Okay. Now click on create button. So this is the class only, and here something testing, and here something inheritance button is there. So click on this button, and I want to give something super class, parent class. We already discussed about inheritance concept. Okay, so now what I'm doing, I'm creating one class. So test underscore CONINH. Okay, and after that one, I'm giving the super class. Means this is the child class. This is the child class. So for this child class, the parent class is this one, test underscore CON. Okay, now click on save button. Click on OK button. Now automatically the constructor and M1 is coming here. 1 minute, guys. /o AC24. Click on display. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here, right? So constructor and M1 is coming here, but class constructor is not coming. Okay, static constructor is not coming. It will not inherit here. Okay, the static constructors will not inherit here. Fine. Now save it and M2. This is instance and the public visibility section, and here method M2. Okay, method M2. I am not doing anything, just I am giving the superclass name and I am adding something method M2. Right, now implement this M2 method, and this is the write method M2 from test con inh. Activate it. It's activated. Okay, it's activated. Now what I will do, I will go to the local program. Okay, now create object obj1 I am taking here. Okay, here I am not taking this one for, I mean, I'm creating the object only for this class 2, right? I will call the method here, call method obj1 m2. Okay, now check it, activate it. It's activated. Now what I will do, I will execute the program, then what will happen? So click on breakpoint here, click on execute. Now click on F5 button. See, it is going to the class constructor. Okay, it is going to the class constructor, and this is the super class. Okay, this is super class. So what is going on, I will let you know. So first of all, see it here. So class 1 super parent. Okay, parent class is get underscore constructor. Okay, so this is one. And the class 2, and this is the subclass or child class. Okay, so the class name is test underscore con underscore inh. Okay, so what I am doing, I am creating the object, to child class. Okay? I am not touching anything for the class 1. I am creating the object for class 2 only. Okay, so at that time, the cursor, the system is calling the static constructor from the superclass. Okay, static constructor from superclass. Here, static constructor from test underscore con. Okay, now if I click on F5 button one more time, then where it will go? Click on F5. Now it is coming to the constructor. Okay, now it is coming to the constructor. Hey, where is the cursor? Okay, now constructor. Superclass, static constructor. Second time, superclass instance constructor calling. Okay, fine. Now, if I click on F5 button, it will come to the next line. See, it is coming to the next line. Fine. So why it is happening like this? Okay. So I'm creating the object for the subclass. Okay. I'm creating the object for the subclass. So by using the object, I can call the superclass methods also. Call method obj1 m1. Okay. M1 is available in the superclass only. This is not available in subclass. So we can see this one. Okay. So this is the z_test underscore con means this is the superclass, parent class. Here M1 is available. And coming to the subclass, here M1 is coming from the superclass. You can see the background color, gray color is coming, right? So this is the meaning of, so this method is not available in this class. This is belongs to one more class. This method M1 is belongs to one more class, that is superclass. In this class, only M2 method is available. That's it. Okay, only M2 method is available. Now let me check. Activate. It's activated. Okay, so if you want to call something methods, okay, if you want to call something method from the superclass, then we can call it directly like this. Okay, we can call it directly like this. Click on execute button. Now we can see something here. For static constructor from z_test1, sorry, z_test_con, this is the superclass. And one more time, instance constructor from z_test_con, superclass only. Next, method m2 from z_test_con inh. This is the subclass. Okay, and after that one, I'm calling the method m1. Method m1 is available in the superclass. Okay, fine. Now what I will do? This is a subclass, right? This is a subclass. Now this is the constructor, right? This is the constructor. Now I want to use, okay, I want to declare one constructor in the subclass also. Okay, subclass also. Now what I have to do? So here, click on this button. I mean, select the method here and click on redefine here. Redefine method. Okay, so what it is showing here, you cannot redefine the constructor. Okay, fine. I will write here something constructor. See here, constructor is coming here like this. Okay, and this is the instance constructor, and I will go for public only. Now let me save it, check it. So what it is showing here? The constructor method must call the constructor of the superclass, super constructor. So what I will do? Right. Instance constructor from the test z_test_con inh. Okay. What I will do? I will call the superclass constructor also. Now check it here and activate it. It's activated. Okay. Now activate it once again. So what I'm doing, I will let you know. Here, M1 is not available now. Okay. Sorry, the constructor is not available in the gray color. It came to the white color. Means the constructor method is available in this class also. Okay, the constructor method is available in the subclass also. Now I'm implementing this one. At that time I'm writing something instance constructor from ztest gon okay, and after that one I'm calling the method super constructor. Okay, super constructor. So if I don't write this line, what will happen? Let us check here. It is showing something error. The constructor method must call the constructor of the superclass. Okay, what is the meaning of this one? So if the constructor method is available in the superclass as well as subclass, both available. Okay, at that time we need to mention we need to call the superclass constructor also here. Okay, superclass constructor also here. Otherwise, it will not execute. It will throw error. This is mandatory thing. Okay, activate it here. It's activated. Click on back. Activate it once again. Activated. Right. Now what I will do? What I will do? Okay, this is the create object. Fine, and click on execute button. Now the question here. Okay, if I click on F5 button, then where it will go? Okay, superclass or subclass? Fine. Click and if it is superclass, so which method it will trigger? Okay, instance or static constructor. Or if it comes to the subclass, then which method it will call? Okay, so fine. Click on F5 button, and what will happen? Let us see here. So it is coming to the static constructor of the superclass. Okay, static constructor from ztest.con is the superclass method. Okay, fine. So I'm clicking on F5 button one more time. So click on F5. Now the cursor came to the subclass, not superclass. Okay, not superclass. It came to the subclass. Subclass instance constructor. Okay, instance constructor. Click on F6, and I'm calling the superclass constructor now. If we don't write this syntax, then it will throw error. This is a mandatory thing. Okay, and in the interview, you can get the question like, so how can you call the constructor? And this is the mandatory thing. So how can you call the constructor with mandatory? Okay, actually, we should not call the constructor. Okay, automatically it will call. And if we try to call the constructor, it will throw error. Okay, and only one case. Okay, this is only one case we can call the constructor. Okay, so if we are calling the constructor from the subclass, we are calling the constructor from the subclass, then we have to use like this call method super constructor. Then it will go to the superclass and it will call the constructor, instance constructor. So click on F5 button. So I'm calling I'm displaying something instance constructor from ztest.con. Click on F5. So the method is completed now. Click on F5 button, then it will come to the as usually. Okay, so the order you have to remember here, the order. Okay, so if it is a object is creating for the subclass, child class only. At that time, it is executing the superclass static constructor first time. Okay, superclass static constructor first time, and after that one, and it is checking any constructor is available in the subclass. So if there is any constructor is available in the subclass, then it will go to that one. And in that one, okay, we need to call the superclass constructor. That is a mandatory thing. So it will call the superclass constructor, instance constructor. Okay, so that is the order here. Fine, this is fine. Now what I will do? So this is the child class, right? Now I will take class constructor. Okay, class constructor. So this is the static method, automatically will come because I'm maintaining here class here, and this is the public and the static constructor. Okay, now I will implement this one. So click on S button. So here I'm displaying something right. Static constructor ZSCON NH. Okay. Now let us see what will happen. Save it, check it, activate it. It's activated. Okay, it's activated. Now let us see. So constructor and class constructor, instance and static constructors available in the subclass, and these two special methods are available in superclass also. Both classes are available. Then what will happen? Let us see. See, so if we go a bit more, then we will get complexity. So we need to practice, otherwise we will forget and we will get confused here. Okay, just practice, then you can understand this one. And don't, so you are seeing the video, that is okay, fine, but after seeing this one, you can think like, okay, I understood and I can handle this one like that. But without practicing, you cannot handle this one. Okay, so you have to practice. And coming to the local program, now I kept the breakpoint at the 10th line. Click on execute button. Now, so click on F5 button, then cursor, where it will go? That is the question now. Because the instance and static constructors are available in both classes, super and subclasses. Then where it will go? Click on F5 button. The cursor is going to the super class. First of all, super class. Okay, the super class, this is a static constructor. Okay, static constructor. Fine. Fine. Click on F5. Then the cursor is coming to the subclass. Okay, the cursor is coming to the subclass. And the subclass, it is going to the constructor. Okay, instance constructor, and I don't want to execute it, and click on F5 button and F5 one more time. Oh, what's happening here? I will let you know the order. Okay, I will let you know the order. Order is if super and child classes have constructor, instance constructor, and static constructor. Okay, then order is, order is, so first superclass, static constructor will execute. Okay, then it will come to the subclass, static constructor. Okay, subclass static constructor. Then it will come to the subclass instance constructor. Okay, and then it will come to the superclass instance constructor. This is the order. So if the both classes have static and instance constructors, then it will work like this. So first of all, superclass static constructor, then subclass static constructor. Okay, then subclass. So the order is, so first of all, it will go to the static constructors, it will go. Okay, from super to subclasses like that. And coming to the instances, then it will go to the child class first, then it will come to the super class. So that is the order, top to bottom, bottom to top. Okay, so this is the constructor concept, and if you have any doubt or if you are confusing at any place, please ping me. Okay, and we will continue the class with one more new concept. Okay, maybe after 2 days or 3 days, I will take one more class. Okay then, bye. Jai Hind.